I'm Dr. Jordin Wiggins, and this is the Pleasure Principles podcast. Join me on this journey where sex, science, and sensuality meet. Let's change the conversation around sex and pleasure together. Hello, superwomen. I want to start this episode with gratitude. I want to thank you, those of you that share my podcast, share my book, interact with my content on Instagram, comment, like, post. It is an uphill battle to get this message out there to the women that need it. Often people will find me and they'll be like, how did I not know about you? How do you not have 100,000 followers? Well, Instagram blocks my stuff all the time. They don't put me on the explore page. So really the only way at this point for other superwomen like us to get the information is through the comments, likes, the shares. So I want to take the time to thank you all so much that make the effort to do that. It means the world to me. And on this episode, you're going to get a mix of things, some intimacy, advice, answer some of your questions. I just didn't feel like being structured today. So let's start with a question. When should I have sex with somebody I am dating? Signed, your fellow superwoman. Okay, first things first, you need to do you. What is right for you? No number of dates, etc., is going to make sense for everyone. This is like when people ask me, how many times a week should we have sex in a committed relationship or a long-term relationship? It varies per couple, for season of life and relationship. So I do want to give some superwoman specific advice though. So when should a superwoman start having sex when dating? Because if you're dating and looking for a partnership, for those of us that are people pleasers, over functioners, generally with some type of attachment trauma, I caution having sex before you are committed. Now, hear me out, the whole thing. You can be sexually open, sex positive, and choose not to have sex until you're in a committed partnership, and you get to define what that looks like for you. I've made this mistake in the past, and having sex as a way to feel close to someone, as a means of connection. And remember, there's lots of hormones flying around, our neurotransmitters. Like, we are wired for connection, especially at the beginning. And this could be a little bit of a recipe for disaster if it is two people's attachment wounds playing out. So if you're looking for partnership, I caution having sex before you're committed, because that might be your means of expressing love, or you might feel more connected than you actually are. So being a little reserved, waiting, seeing how things go, absolutely nothing wrong with that. And then on the flip side, what if you're just like casually dating? You're not looking for anything, not wanting to be loved, not wanting it to turn into something. Then as a superwoman, I would ask yourself, will your nervous system feel safe enough, relaxed enough to enjoy a casual encounter? Again, this is all totally up to you. It's things for you to think about and act and set boundaries accordingly. Misconception about me: because of the work I do, people just automatically assume that I'm promiscuous, or my clients that are in open or ethical non-monogamous relationships, when actually some of them are extremely selective about who they are choosing to be intimate with. So sex positivity, openness doesn't necessarily equal promiscuity, and that's a big misconception that we have in our culture. And I know me with my abuse history and my body, the casual encounters aren't for me. So you can be open and selective and have boundaries and still be sexually liberated. All of these things can happen at once. So I hope that answers your question. And I have an intimacy tip for you that's going to free up some space, going to hopefully free up some space for you to create more connection and just free up some more bandwidth in your overthinking, probably anxious superwoman brain. So my intimacy tip is stop making meaning about other people's actions. It is very common, especially for superwomen to do, especially because we hold ourselves to a standard of accountability and ways of being a very high standard that we can tend to project that on others and get very disappointed. So let me just talk a little bit more about what I mean. So an example, he didn't take out the trash. The meaning we would make is a variation of he doesn't love me, he doesn't respect me, da 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 da. Or on the other side, an example, and I see us do this all the time, he asked me out for lunch, which equals they love me, they're trying, all of the problems in our relationship are better because he took this one action. So the meaning making, the storytelling is a thinking trap. And there are hundreds of reasons why people do and don't do things and respond or react in a certain way. So we can free up a lot of mental bandwidth for ourselves when we stop making things mean something, stop the storytelling. Now, this is not to say that if your needs are not being met over and over, that is something that needs to be addressed. That is bordering on a toxic relationship for you and your body and your mental health. And you can listen to episode 99 of the Pleasure Principles podcast, where I just, give a brief summary of what I mean about toxic relationships. We will link that in the show notes. So the flip side of this is he didn't take out the trash means he didn't take out the trash, or he asked me out to lunch means he asked me out to lunch. And how does that feel to you? It should feel very freeing, not like, oh, well, he had a bad day at work, this is never going to get better, or everything's better, because we want to watch for those all or nothing thinking traps. And if the trash is a representation of the dishwasher and the management of the household and the planning of the dates and the vacations and all the other things, and you just truly do not feel supported or like you have a partner, that you are the CEO of your relationship, then Superwoman, there are 2 ways that you can work with me to fix that right now. If you are exhausted, overwhelmed, and unfulfilled, you've done the things, the therapy, the coaching, the alternative health practitioners, and something is still missing, this is where I excel. As the CEO of your pleasure and your health, I'm opening up 2 spots for my 3-month one-on-one coaching this fall. It is probably the last time that you are going to get to work with me one-on-one this year. So do not wait, fill out an application. We're going to put the link in the show notes. It's thepleasurecollective.com/coaching. You will hear from me and my team within 72 hours. If you don't, check your spam folders. You and I are then going to get on a call to discuss if it is the right fit for us both. It is not in my pleasure if this is not going to be fun and pleasurable for both of us. There will be hard moments because I am a fan of tough love, and that is what you are paying me for, is for speed and to call out your blocks, because you are smart, you are resourced, you've tried a lot of things, and you need a little help seeing what you can't see. That's why I have a coach. And I want you to fill out the application a little scared. Everyone that does this work on this level feels some type of uneasiness. Is my relationship going to survive this? Do I need to blow up my whole life? And I'm happy to report that the answer is no. The work is easier and more fun than you think. So if you are a high achieving superwoman and my work speaks to you, head to the show notes, thepleasurecollective.com/coaching, and fill out an application. And finally, I want to talk about vaginal smells. One of my most popular blogs of all time is 7 Vaginal Smells. I wrote this in 2019 and it is still constantly being read. So I wanted to talk about it here because maybe you have this question. So there is so much marketing to women about how their vagina, vulva smells. There's marketing to us in general as humans about body odor, breath, and just like a human body, we're told and taught is not to smell like a human body. We're supposed to cover it up with perfumes and toxic chemicals and all the rest. I know growing up, there was the Dentine commercials, the gum commercials. Maybe I can't say the brand. So there was the gum commercials that was on all the time. And it was like you couldn't kiss or be around somebody without this gum in your mouth. So just want you to remember that we're being marketed to, we're being sold to. And I see this impact intimacy in a variety of ways. Some people have it in their heads that they can't have sex until both parties are like fully showered. And again, cool, like if that's your thing, but also think of all the opportunities for intimacy that you are missing by having that be a prerequisite. So some of those thinking traps we talk about in pleasure principles. That would be a break, something that inhibits our sexual desire. So back to vaginas. There is so much marketing to women about how their vagina smells. And the part that I do not like about it is that there are lots of normal smells and vulva owners are made to feel shame about it. So for example, we have natural pH changes throughout our cycle as our hormones change, and things will smell different at different times of the month. And I want to hit home the point that vaginas are supposed to smell like vaginas. More accurately, vulvas are supposed to smell like vulvas. If you are concerned about the way your vulva smells, you can check out my blog because I talk about normal and not normal smells. And when I say not normal, I mean might indicate that you need to go to your doctor. I'm going to say it again. Vaginas, vulvas should smell like vaginas, vulvas. And if you are still concerned, and I mean a true concern for yourself, like something might be wrong medically and you need to seek medical attention, check out the blog. Even if, and we could even acknowledge that we have had so much conditioning around smell that we might not be able to enjoy intimacy. And that's okay. We want to acknowledge it. I also like to shatter those limiting beliefs. But the fact, if you are thinking like, oh, I wonder how I smell, taste, and it's this misogynistic BS standard of how your vagina should smell, then that is taking you out of your pleasure. And it is a problem. It's an intimacy problem that we can work on. And if you're super hung up about it, there are 2 products that I love. Kedish has their wipes and Pure Romance has their 24-hour odor control cream, both of which are awesome. Pure Romance's cream is great. Put it on and forget about it. The Kedish wipes I love to have in my gym bag. I love to have in my purse for an unexpected encounter. But yeah, vaginas are supposed to smell like vaginas. And if a man will not go down on you because your vagina smells like a vagina, like that is not a man that gets to be intimate with me. It's 2023 and there is no room for the misogyny or the patriarchy inside this vulva or vagina. All right, superwomen, until next time, love you. Take care. Have a great week, everybody. If you like what you heard in this episode, leave me a rating. Your support helps me get discovered by more women like you. Together, we can change the conversation around women's sexual health and pleasure for you, your partners, and generations to come.